Listen, I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real, relevant, and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world in your household, one household at a time. I'm so excited to be here today, and we have some of our Freestyle Friday experts. Hello, everybody. Say hello to everyone.
Hello.
We are excited because we get the opportunity on Fridays to come and talk about topics that matter to you. You all are viewing from different countries in some regards, and also some of you are local, regional, national, wherever you are. Let us know where you're visiting in from. We'd love to be able to say who's in our virtual studio audience, and we really want you to share the broadcast. So go ahead and share it with your friends, your family. The things that these experts talk about, it's a game changer for your lives. So I cannot wait for you all to hear what each of them have to share. But I don't want to just dive right in and then some of y'all miss the information. It's like, what? So we're gonna just make sure we just, you know, you say slow the roll a little bit, slow it down for a minute. Whoosh. How many of us are even intentional about how we breathe? I did a breathing exercise with someone recently, and I was like, I played some birds chirping, and I realized I'm not even sitting up properly. I'm like, I'm all leaned up. This stuff makes a difference. This is not even the topic, but sitting up and just kind of getting yourself organized, arching your shoulders back, and intentionally. Everything is about being intentional, taking some deep breath and doing it maybe like 5 times intentionally, like really focusing on you breathing. How important is breathing? Do y'all think it's important over there?
Yeah, we breathing.
Wouldn't be here. Wouldn't be here if I wasn't breathing.
Right. So we have to be intentional, even if it's a focused few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, that we focus on how we're taking in our breath and then how we're exhaling and being able to say, okay, Lord, even though I'm here at work or wherever you are, you can always go on a free mental vacation. You can get that visual in your mind and decide, I'm going to Hawaii today. I'm going, as we talk backstage, where are we going? Jamaica. We all going to Jamaica, right? Kingston, somewhere. So we can go on a mental vacation for free, and it doesn't cost you $1, and you can be all the way there. And guess what? You right where you are in your office and come back refreshed, revitalized, and ready to take on your new customers. All right, y'all. This is a tip from the Balance Doctor over here. Let me tell you, we want to hear from each of you. What can they expect when we get to you today in our discussion? Vickie, unmute. You're already unmuted. Just go ahead and tell everybody in about 10 seconds or so, 30 seconds, what they can expect.
Well, we're about to enter into this love month that we call February, Valentine's Day, and all of that. So I want to talk to you, just give you a few things about setting your intentions.
Setting your intentions. Somebody type that in the comment section. Let us know you're here with us. Setting your intentions is what Vickie L. Evans is talking about. All right, let's hear from you, Dr. Colin over there. You're to my left. So let me hear what you're going to be talking about.
I want to talk about holistic intimacy in relationship. Holistic intimacy.
Okay, so this is going to be Vickie L. Evans is talking about setting your intentions. I'm going to type it too. And then you're talking about holistic, like HOL.
HOLISTIC. Holistic.
Intimacy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In marriage. What? Y'all are going to be in for some treats. All right. Tell us, Natasha, what you're going to be talking about.
So I'm going to talk about how our communication is tied to our mental health.
Somebody type that. This is some good stuff. And let's go with you, Sunshine Expert. What are you going to be talking about?
Oh, I am going to be sharing be you. Learn how to be you.
Okay. Intentional communication. I'm typing over here too, y'all. So intentional communication, you said, Natasha?
How communication's tied to mental health.
Oh, everything I'm saying intentional. Communication tied to mental health. Okay. Yeah. We need to know that. All right. And then be you. Be you is our sun. Be you. Just be you. That's our sunshine expert. Athena. Yay. Okay. So everybody, y'all ready for this? Let's see. Sharon said, and one of y'all read the comments for me. Vickie, read the comment for me.
Not a good person to do it because I don't have my glasses on.
Right.
So setting your intentions, holistic intimacy and marriage communication tied to mental setting your intentions.
What we talked about.
Yes, holistic intimacy and marriage communication tied to mental health. Learn how to be you. So she just typed what you were saying.
So who the younger person that don't need their reading glasses on? Is that?
I can see it from here, but anything else, I got my glasses anyway.
Oh, okay. I'm like between me and
those
you. We're like,
glasses are so fly. Where them glasses go?
Oh, okay, Miss Vickie.
Vickie, you're not the expert of just many hats. You're the expert with glasses, attitude.
She's so fancy. She's so fancy. She's fancy.
All right, y'all, listen and tell us in the studio audience, what are some things you want to talk about? So type them in the comment section so we don't go through the whole episode and not get in any of the topics that you're interested in as well. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to start hearing right away about the beautiful sunshine of being you right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. We'll be right back, everybody.
Why learn about health when you can experience it? Experience it in beautiful Florida in February 2024. Join us for 3 days of integrative and intensive health and healing education and empowerment with the expertise of the following Healthopedia author, speaker, and facilitators. The world-renowned homeopath and acupuncture physician, Dr. James Marinakis, 4-decade health coach and holistic nutritionist, Dr. Joe D. Bear, and others such as Kimberly Meredith, Dame Doria Cordova, Rex Sykes, Dr. Gary Sanchez, Jamie Kerr, Serena Brown Travis, and more. Experience daily morning walking and yoga, interactive participation, panel discussions, and more for your own epiphany of health. Get your tickets now.
All right, everyone. Again, we're here talking with our Freestyle Friday experts today, and we're going to get started with Athena Robertson, our sunshine expert. You looking good over there, Athena.
Thank you so much. And so is everybody on the panel is looking good. It's always a blessing and an honor to be here. Always thank you to my sister Kim, and just to be amongst beautiful smiling faces, positive energy. We family, y'all. So I'm just always excited to be on with you guys. I wanted to share with you all today. I was trying to figure out which way I was going to go. I was going to talk, Natasha, I was going to talk about communication. And then, I was going to talk about, because the love month was coming up, Miss Vickie, but, something kept reigning in my spirit. That's the Holy Spirit, by the way. And when I say in my spirit, just be yourself. Just be who you are. A lot of times we look at the world. We look at the magazines. We look at social media. And we get caught up. We get caught up in the trends of the world, the trends of the latest fashion, the latest hairdos, the latest things that's going on in people's houses. So before we came on the show, I'm talking about Miss Vickie, the lady of many hats. Last year, I seen one of her posts where she had won a very prestigious award. And I said, you know what? I bet Miss Vickie got a lot of awards. I said, we just see one, we see that whole, or we see her when she's out and she's blossoming, and she takes a lot of photos too, so she's very photoenergetic. And so I was like, oh, okay, Miss Vickie, I see your awards. And so today, and I just brought it up, I said, Miss Vickie, I bet you got a whole spot for all your awards. You have won many accomplishments through her life tenure. And of course she said, of course I do. And I was it wasn't no doubt in my mind that she didn't have that spot set up in her house, by the way. But when we talk about others, we celebrate others. We celebrate them and their accomplishments. We celebrate them on their life journeys. And so when we celebrate another
Excuse me.
person, that's exactly what we're doing. We're celebrating, but we're not celebrating to, I don't say, oh, I need a whole shelf of awards too. I'm gonna be like Miss Vickie. Yes, I can say I want to be like Miss Vickie when I grow up, and all my life accomplishments, and have the awards and everything to show my life accomplishments, but not so much as desiring to be like Miss Vickie, or because again, and I say that. Why do I say that? I'm glad you guys asked me, because
Yes.
it took a lot of hard work for Miss Vickie to get where Miss Vickie is at. She's a playwright, she's an author, she's a mother, she's a daughter, and the list go on and on and on.
That's right.
All of that takes a lot of hard work, and the same I'm going to say about, my sister Natasha, with mental health, and her journey and the things she's accomplished in her journey. I admire her for her work. I admire her for her accomplishment, but not desiring to be like her. So, here we go. I'm going to give it to you. When you look at you, it's like, who are you? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see this beautiful person? When I look in the mirror, I see beautiful Athena, the beautiful Athena Robertson, this awesome woman of God, this awesome game changer. I'm a mother, I'm an author, I'm a business owner, I'm a nonprofit founder, I am an educator, I am an elder in my church. So, but them are just titles, but do I see the beauty in me? Yes, I do. So when you take away all the titles, I see Athena, and Athena is just you. I don't compare myself to nobody else. I'm not judging what I see, and then I need to try to fit that into my life. That's not how we go. I want you to be you. I want you to embrace your weaknesses. Yes, embrace your weaknesses. Why? Because your weaknesses it builds a stronger foundation. It helps you strengthen where you're weak, and it also helps you strengthen where you're strengthened. And you grow and you develop in that area. So for example, I'm very big on making sure that I organize, especially as a business owner. When you have business meetings, you gotta come very organized. You gotta come with the agenda, with the plan, so everybody else is following the same suit. So that being said, that's one of my strengths. And let's just say hypothetically that punctuality was not. Well, guess what? This is the year for change. This is the year for change. You can start being on time. It's better to be on time to be late. So if your appointment is at 12 noon, you probably, because you're normally late, you might want to get there at 11:15ish. That way, you got a whole bunch of time to breathe if you need to go to the restroom, but just to know that you're in that spot and you're on time matters versus you being late. So that's a part of being you. Know who you are, know your flaws and all. And y'all, I was writing this down and I got a whole page over here, and I am just telling you it's some good stuff. How is anyone gonna know the real you when you act like someone else? How will someone know the real you when you portray someone else? Because what if catch you on a off day? Mostly when, well, everybody's on point on these on days, and we all got on days,
Right.
but we also got off days. Off days
Yeah.
when we just ain't feeling it. It just ain't. Maybe your morning didn't start out right. Maybe you got an email, maybe you got a text or a phone call that kind of slightly shifts your mood. Then the you that probably nobody gets a chance to see. But run across the right person that normally gets the gab, chats with you, interacts with you, and say, oh, Athena. Okay, I see you. Never met this one before. So if we don't present the real us, if we don't present the real you, which means be original, be authentic, we are all uniquely and wonderfully created differently. And everybody's beautiful. And being you is the best version you could be of yourself versus trying to be like somebody else. We don't need a whole we don't need a whole lot of Kim Jacobs, Vickie Evans, Natasha, Dr. Collins. We don't need all the carbon copies. I need the original Dr. Collins. I need the original Natasha. I need the original Vickie Evans and the original Kim Jacobs. That's the relationship that's the friendship that I have built with people. If anybody else come and say, "Oh, I'm Natasha," no, you're not. Oh, no, you're not. And you ain't got her accent. You can't share nothing about what Natasha been telling me since 2023, 2022, and helping me get my mental health on track. You can't share some of the things that my sister be feeding and pouring into me. So, hey, who are you? So remember to just be the real you. And guess what? Change is good. Change is good. We all go through changes. We all go through seasons of changes. Change is good. So being the real you, make sure you're taking care of yourself properly. Make sure, if health and eating healthy is your go-to, that's your go-to. Because what you want to do and being the real you and sharing who the real you are, you can impact somebody else's life. Just think about it. Anytime you have a chance to conversate with somebody, whether that's sharing an encouragement, words of encouragement, whether that's sharing wisdom of your personal testimony, whether that's you're giving and lending a helping hand, you're adding to the solution, but not taking away, but being an asset to the solution. That is good too. But again, being you helps you add these great things as you're being you. And sometimes everything is not going to always flow properly. And that's understandable. We're human. I get it. And it's okay to step back. Y'all have heard me say before, it's okay to breathe. It's okay to take these moments to recollect yourself, and then come back and try it again. But just always remember, being you matters so much more than you being somebody else. And you don't want to compare. You don't want to judge nobody else, because you never knew what it took to get to that place or where that person's at.
That's right.
So you always want to be yourself. Share your smile, share your joys. And for me, I pray, the Lord Jesus Christ is so awesome to me. He loves me so much and I love him. So all that he imparts in me, I share with you all. Always want to make sure that it starts with him first, and then it outpours. And I said, okay, Lord, this is what I'm going to give them, and I'm going to walk in confidence, be respectful. But I'm telling y'all, be you. Be you. It carries you a long way. So that's what the Sunshine Expert had to say this morning. Anybody got any questions or comments? I am here for it.
Well, that's a mouthful. Being you is anytime we not focus on other people, but we direct that focus on our own things that we need to improve in and become better in our own areas of life. That's plenty. That's plenty to focus on right there. So the one thing I did want to ask you, Mother Julia Harper, who's in her 80s, I like to say that she just recently, I don't want to yell her age out, but she's in her upper 80s, is on social media typing, and she said that she's so very true what you're saying. So thank you for your comment, Mother Harper. Yeah. And I see someone else with Winsome says amen to what you're saying as well.
Amen.
And I wanted to just ask you one question. Being you, people think that they're being themselves. I don't think most people think they're walking around faking, trying to be somebody else. What's like at least one tip that you could share with people to be themselves, and how do they know that they're not being themselves pretty much? So what one thing you would say to them just to encourage them? Which you've already said plenty.
So one thing I would say to being you, like, I'll give you an example. let's say one of the world's trending most trending is fashion. It's fashion, and we're women of fashion, we're men of fashion, and sometimes you got to try on things to see if they fit you, to see
Right.
to see if it fits you, and if it don't fit you, you find what do fit you and what is your color. So my color, one of my favorite colors is coral. So coral and orange, a pretty orange, slightly goes together. And for me, I like colors that pop. I like colors that pop, that stands out. So
Mhm.
I would say for me, that's what works for me. For
Okay.
Kim might not want the bright orange, the coral orange. She might want like the baby smooth, like the smooth green.
Okay.
And that works for her. So I would say, in being you, you always want to find something that
Okay.
fits you and that you're comfortable with. You don't just go with it because oh, my sister wears, so I'm gonna wear it like my sister, or somebody told me that I only look good in purple. No, you look good in all colors. Just
Hmm.
find what fits you, and then you rock with it and you go with from there. And that's being you. That's being you. That is you. What you like, what you embrace, what you vision, what you imagine, that all creates your reality. So be you.
Beautiful. Be you. Tell people how they can stay connected with you, Athena.
Of course. You can stay connected with me on Facebook as Athena Robertson. You can stay connected with me on Instagram at Red Honey. That is REDHONII and the number 7 on Instagram. I'm also a notary public here in the Mecklenburg County area in Charlotte. So if you need a notary, I come to you, you come to me. We meet up in the middle. We make it work. Let's interact and connect. You can reach me at 980-200-5740. I am the founder of Joyful Hearts Transitional Housing. It's a nonprofit for helping those families that are in poverty to regroup, refresh, and get back in society and thrive and strive for greatness.
Woohoo! Thank you, our sunshine expert. We are so grateful that you're here today with us because you definitely brought the sunshine. We have with us our woman of many hats, and we are so excited to have you here, Vickie L. Evans. Many hats and glasses. Okay, so we might have to add. Vickie, so glad to have you back here on
It's
our
so good to be here. This is my first appearance of the new year, so I want to say Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy
Yes.
New Year to you. Now, you all may be watching this in the spring and the winter because we replay our episodes. So right now, it's technically the day it was airing is closer into the new year. So Vickie L. Evans, our woman of many hats, let people know before you even go into your points why we're even calling you the woman of many hats, because you wear so many diverse backgrounds. So talk to us briefly about some of those backgrounds.
Well, my main, I guess, career is I loved the theater. So I'm a playwright, I'm a director, I'm a producer, all of those hats I wear in the theater world. I'm also a self-esteem coach because it's so important for me to inspire you to know your worth. So that's another title. I'm an author of, I think, 3 books, maybe 4. Author of 3 or 4 books. So and have the privilege of being on the bestsellers list. So just a few gifts that God has blessed me with that I love sharing with others. Yeah, just a few. And so at any given moment, I love to shift those hats and wherever is relevant and be the person that has, you know, uh, been inspired. I forgot ministry. I'm in ministry. It's a whole bunch of things I could say. But the most important thing is that I am a child of God and I love who God has created me to be, uniquely me. I always say that, uniquely me. I deal with topics of domestic violence, suicide, homelessness. That's just a lot, lot to me and a lot to it. So
Yeah. And this person said, congratulations. Kernifer says, congratulations. Wow. Because it is a lot of different hats. And she's not talking just from a book perspective. She actually is the book. She's the person that's gone through some of these traumatic experiences herself and have lived to tell about it. So we're glad that you're here today, Vickie L. Evans. Talk to us about what you have for us today.
So as I began the new year, I have been just thinking about the path that I would like to take in life. And so just this week, I was thinking about setting your intentions. I would like to talk about setting your intention. And you may ask, what is an intention? Simply, intention is an aim, your purpose, sometimes something you have planned to achieve. That is an intention. So I know that we all have desires, we have goals, we even have fantasies. So I want to talk to you about setting your intention because I am a single female. And so I have intentions when it comes to meeting that soulmate that God has entrusted me to meet one day. Dr. Collier, Dr. Colin, has entrusted me, Dr. Clarke, to meet one day. So in order for me to do that, I have to have goals, purposes, desires. I can't just go out there all willy-nilly and say, okay, I want to meet somebody. And so whoever that comes along, he's going to be my soulmate. No way. So this is what I want to talk about. First of all, in order to set your intentions, you got to know what you want. And the Sunshine Authority expert said earlier, you got to know who you are and what you desire. You can't, like I said, if you don't, then you'll find yourself all over the place trying to figure out what I want to do, how I want to do it. And so I think it's important to have a set, okay, so I like this. I want a spiritual man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Say what you want and go for it. I like, and this may seem superficial for you, but for me, I'm a tall woman, so I want a tall man, okay? So I just believe that we should not be afraid to set our intentions and to know what we want and go for what we want and not compromise in those things. Because so many times we compromise, well, he doesn't have this, but he has 3 of the 5 that I want. So I'm just going to go for it, and then you find yourself finding that those other 2 were very important to you, and now you done settled, and now you're unhappy because you don't have those 2 now. As for me, communication, I am a communicator. So communication is always important to me. So to meet someone who doesn't communicate or doesn't have that gift, that would not be a match for me. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important that we do this. And this is what I'm saying. If we don't set our intentions, then we'll find ourselves settling for things that are not purpose-driven for us. Because all of us have been created for a divine purpose. And those divine purpose have certain characteristics attached to that. So we want to find someone who match those things that we are, or not only match, but enhance those things that we are divinely made for. Setting intentions is more than just setting goals. Because you may have goals, but if you don't intentionally do those goals, right? Then what good is it? So it's different from just setting goals. It's about being purposeful in pursuing your desires with purpose, with intention, okay? So that word is so important to me. In general, I believe every day we should conscientiously set an intention for our day, every day. That's why this year I've been very disciplined. I bought me a planner, and I said every day I'm going to write in this planner what my intentions are for that day. And that's important. When you write it down and you're able to go back and look at it, it'll keep you focused and in line with your divine purpose.
Yes, it will.
Yes, it will. So I was reading this article in Shape magazine. Dr. Melissa Mack said, if you don't set an intention, you let the day determine your mood rather than taking control and determining how you want the day to be. In other words, command your day. Don't let your day command you. That's what setting intentions mean. All right.
That's some good stuff so far that you're sharing. I'm just waiting to the end to ask a couple of questions.
Yeah, I got a couple more things. Intention setting is empowering. You become the conscious creator of your day and your life. Let me tell you how to set your intentions. Okay, listen, let's talk about February. You know, we got singles who are trying to be booed up. If you don't know what that means, oh, I got to get me a guy because Valentine's Day is coming. So, you know, I got to get out there and find me somebody to be with. Okay, but the first thing is you got to know who God has created you to be. You got to know what direction, what future goals that you're about to take. If I'm going into theater and this person is not there to support my dreams and my goals and desires, then we're going to go in opposite directions. And there's a term that calls unequally yoked. We don't want that. We don't want to find ourselves in that. We may be booed up for February, but is booing up is what you're looking for. If what you're purposely your divine purpose is, are you in line with that? That's what setting intentions mean. Lining up with your purpose and connecting to someone who's aligned to theirs, and the two of you coming together and meeting your purpose together. That's what setting the intention is all about. In order to set your intentions, first thing you got to do, you got to state your intentions. And a good way of doing that is what I said earlier. Write it down. Write it down, vocalize it, affirm it every day. This is what I want. This is how I want to achieve it. And this is how I want to come by it, right?
That's right.
Second, be clear. Because if you're not in clear, I think sometimes even when we pray, we don't really know what we want. We got all these laundry lists of things that we want. We're going in different directions and we're not clear. So why aren't our prayers being answered in those directions? Because God trying to figure out what you want.
Right.
He's not sure because you don't give him a whole laundry list. This is what I want. Oh no, today I want Denzel. Tomorrow I want Idris. The other day,
wait. Now you done put a different element in there. You ain't have to go there.
This is just saying for an example. This is how we do sometimes. Well, God, I think I like this kind of man, or this kind of man. Oh, I want this. What do you want? And not only that, what are you bringing to the table to be an asset to that person? It's not all about finding what you want. Who are you? Are you going to be what he wants? And that's the compatibility factor. Okay, I'm almost done here.
Somebody said laugh out loud. Go ahead.
Right. All of them will work for me, as far as look, but are they divinely aligned with my purpose? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, as far as handsome, and Athena already said it, the sunshine expert. She said, be true to you.
That's right.
You got to be true to you. It doesn't matter what other people feel you should have, or other folks feel that you should do, and other folks feel how you should do it or how you should think. You got to be true to you, and once again, align what God has created and purpose for you. And that's one thing I have found, especially now. I am going to be me. and whatever that entails, uniquely, whether you like it, whether you don't, this is who I am, and I'm gonna be me regardless of what that looks like to you.
Yes.
And this is my last point. It's time to know your worth and know what you want. Set your intentions and make sure they line up with your divine purpose. Like the songwriter says, Travis Green pen, all things working for my good. He's intentional, never failing. So line up and don't compromise. That's all the things I want you to understand. Line up with your purpose. Don't compromise. If that's what you want, go for it. Okay? And set your intentions.
Okay, y'all. We done already had 2 incredible kickoffs to today's Freestyle Friday with Athena Robertson, our sunshine expert, and Vickie L. Evans, our expert of many hats. Pop some of the comments up. He is intentional, Jonathan said. Thank you, Jonathan and Cindy. Kennifer says, line up, don't compromise. Any of these comments you want to address?
I'd rather wait for the $1 million prize than to accept the 10,000 one and find out later on that I could have had the million.
My Lord, my Lord. Keep the comments coming, Mackenzie, back there for me. Let's see other comments. Sheila put some purple hearts. Sheila, thank you for being here. She has an amazing podcast as well, so y'all check her out. Kennifer says, laugh out loud.
She probably laughing because I was talking about Denzel and Aegis.
Oh, girl. That's it right there. Mother Harper said, this is some real good stuff. Real good. Command your day, Sharon says.
You got to. And let me just add just a little thing with the command your day. I was on a flight last week. It was a terrible flight and it had mechanical failure. It was having some mechanical problems. Y'all know what I did? Because I know my safety is in my hand. I asked the stewardess to ask the pilot to let me off that plane. And I got off. You got to set your intentions. You got to know what's best for you and don't compromise.
That's a beautiful example, Vickie. Thank you for sharing that. Because that's, if you get an unctioning is in your spirit about something, don't worry about what anybody else thinks. You go ahead and go with what God put in your spirit about it. Okay, come on now. All right, tell people how they can stay connected with you, Vickie L. Evans.
Well, my website is VickieLEvans.com. Everything related to my name. My email address is VickieLEvans@gmail.com. And you can find me on Facebook as that's my whole name, my whole government name, Vickie Linnell Evans.
All right. That's Vickie L. Evans. Thank you so much for being here today as our Woman of Many Hats expert. Dr. Colin, and you in the hot seat. I see you twisting over there in that chair. This is his first time being our Freestyle Friday expert today.
Yes.
Glad to have you here.
Glad to be here. And good to meet all of you beautiful ladies. And it's good to be here. I'm excited about what you all share with us. And hopefully I can come with my little bit and add to it. Well, I'm Colin Clarke. I'm married to my wife for 41 years. I am a pastor of a church in Philadelphia, Shepherd's Arts Ministry, and that's about all. I'm on Facebook. If you want to find me on Facebook, I'm Colin Clarke on Facebook. And Shepherd's Arts also on Facebook. The topic I want to deal with this afternoon, morning, I want to talk about the holistic intimacy in marriage. Holistic intimacy in marriage, because a lot of times we get caught up with the physical intimacy. We like, I hear Vickie talk about the tall, dark, and handsome, and all that kind of stuff. We get caught up in the physical of the person, but there are deeper stuff. If you want to have a real holistic marriage, or a marriage that the atmosphere, the temperature is being changed and being positive, you got to go with an holistic intimacy, because physical intimacy is not it all, because somebody can be physically intimate with you but treat you wrong. Somebody can be physically intimate with you and dog you out. Somebody can be physically intimate with you and disrespect you. Somebody can be physically intimate with you and you go home and cry tears. But what I want to share with you that there is more to your physical intimacy than that. You gotta have there are five of them, five intimacy. I'm not going to try to drag it about there are five intimacy. The first one you want to talk about is your mental intimacy, because when your mental intimacy is not being fulfilled, or when you're not being treated mentally right, somebody say something negative to you, or treat you outside of yourself, a toxic environment, then mentally you are going to be affected. So your mental intimacy is also important. Proverbs chapter 4:7 says, the beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom, though it costs all you have, get understanding. In other words, mental intimacy involves sharing your thoughts and gaining wisdom together. So if you're in a marriage and they deprive you of your thoughts and tell you you're not good enough, or you're not smart enough, or you have nothing to say, or belittle you, then you are going to be enjoying physical intimacy for a short time, because anybody who's abused mentally doesn't want to have anything to do with you physically.
That's right.
Right.
Don't want to have it. So you got to make sure that they give you the freedom to share your wisdom and your thoughts and your ideas and those things that you have. So you got to have mental intimacy in the relationship, not only physical, because physical can be good, but after a while, when they start to mistreat you mentally, you don't even want to have physical. So you got to make sure. Then you got to have a intellectual connection. That's a part of the mental intimacy. You got to have an intellectual connection. 1 Corinthians chapter 1:10 says, I appeal to you, brothers and sisters, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that all of you agree with one another in what you say, and that there is no division amongst you. Marriage is considered a unit, a togetherness, a same goal, a same vision. And if you are divided and there's no unity in the marriage, you are not going to enjoy physical intimacy, because physical intimacy is not the glue to it. The glue to it is the mental, it's the emotional, all those things that are the glue to it. So I don't care how much he's making you feel like you can jump on the chandelier when it's physical, or do whatever.
Not the chandelier, Colin. This is not the chandelier. You know,
all those things. I make you feel, and he says, man, I got to keep this guy because he's so good at it. When he's finished dogging you, you don't even want to do that with him, because disrespect belittles you. Disrespect take away your self-esteem, your self-worth, and it causes you to feel less than. So you got to want to make sure that it is connecting with you intellectually. You stimulates your mind. Both of you having a conversation, it stimulates your mind and builds you. It's not that he's tearing down in your mind. The Bible says that death and life is in the power of the tongue. And if I'm not hearing good words, if you're not speaking life into me, if you're not building me, if you're not strengthening me, if you're not making me feel good when I get home, I walk through the door and you meet me with negativity and there's no connection. I don't care how much you're enjoying, whatever you're enjoying. I don't want to be there. I want to be. And then your emotional intimacy. So the emotional intimacy is that he should give you the right, or she should give you the right to share your feelings. Share your feelings. All of us have feelings, and the problem is a lot of time emotional get jacked up because of the negativity, the toxic relationship that we have. The negativity. They come in and call you. If you're in a relationship with somebody calls you outside of your name, don't tolerate that. I tell somebody one time, I don't want to stay in a place where I'm not welcome, but tolerated, because toleration means you're putting up with nonsense, you're putting up with abuse, and abuse is not only physical, abuse is emotional, Abuse is mental. And so you should never put up with any kind of abuse from anybody. You're worth more than that. You are worth more than that. Don't stay with them because some people says that I need them in my life because of this reason. There's no reason you need anybody in your life who's going to treat you outside of yourself or abuse you mentally or emotionally and physical, because some people do the physical abuse as well. But no abuse should you accept when anybody comes to you. Holistic abuse is when my mental, my emotional, my I think I want to give our other sister sometimes. I'm gonna cut it. Mental, my spiritual abuse, and my physical. When all of them is illegal, together, are balanced together. Guess what? You're gonna have joy. You're gonna have peace. You're gonna have love together. I've been married to my wife for 41 years. And I'm not here to tell you we never had conflict, but we make quick conflict resolution. We don't dog each other out. We don't disrespect each other. We don't call each other any other name, because we realize that words are like arrow. You let them go and they do the damage, and you got to do a repair of the damage. And sometimes the repair is so hard until it takes you a long time to get back to the place where you started. So I'm here to tell you, make sure you're having an equilibrium of your intimacy. That they're all working together. No disrespect, no mean words, no toxic words, no, don't let anybody call you B word or no stupid.
Don't
or
slip
dumb
and say the whole word, Dr. Collins.
No, I won't. I will control myself. I will control myself, but don't let anybody say that to you. No, because you got people who disrespect you in weird ways, and so I'm saying to you, look for the holistic intimacy. Holistic intimacy. There's got to be treating you right emotionally, right mentally, right spiritually, and spiritual means you pray together. You pray together. You pray for each other, and you pray over each other, cover each other in prayer. You got to have that holistic intimacy. So I want to say to you, because I'm going to try to give our sister Natasha a time to express herself. So let your intimacy be holistic.
This is okay, Dr. Clarke. That's one of those drop the mic moments. It's like you, and look how you leaning. You know you done drop some nuggets. You like, yeah. Now what? What y'all got to say about the new marriage expert on Freestyle Friday, right? Welcome. All right, let's see some comments that may have come in. Pop some of the comments up, Mackenzie. Let's see these comments, y'all. Let's see if we can get some of them up. Okay. I see you tagged. Yeah, I tagged Dr. Connie Green Wisdom Tips. Holistic intimacy. Oh, this is your wife. She trying. Is it Sharon, your wife? Wait, go back for a second,
Yeah,
Mackenzie. Go back.
That's my wife. Yeah.
Now, Sharon trying to get some brownie points. Normally, it's the woman on here and the husband is in the studio audience. But Sharon, like, baby, remember, I commented while you were up there being the expert. So what you gonna buy me a dress from one of these stores that these fashion people over here? She said, holistic intimacy, pray for each other and over each other. Let's see other comments. Mental intimacy, emotional intimacy, physical intimacy. She's being your secretary. That's what she being your administrator back there. That's what she's doing. She typing for her baby for 41 years. All right. Let's see. Any other comments? I'm worth it and I know it. Yes, Sandra Rumpf Jackson. She does anthologies, so check Sandra Rumpf Jackson out. If you're looking to be a part of a book anthology, check her out. I have to watch this again because I need to take some notes. You better believe it, Carnifer. There's some good stuff.
Comments went fast just now, too.
I know. Negativity kills the desire for physical intimacy, Vickie said. All right. Lots of comments have been coming up. Physical intimacy, Jonathan said, is not the glue, but mental and emotional intimacy is. My God, what a word. Yes. All right. Negativity kills the desire for physical intimacy. Yes. All right. So tell people how they can stay connected with you. Physical intimacy is not the glue. Okay. All right. Good comments. Great comments. Thank you as our panelists too for still contributing, Vickie.
Sister Sharon, you've been jumping on the chandelier. What's going on there?
Chandelier. They know about those
Stop it,
chandeliers.
Vickie. Stop it.
You ain't show us that part of your house. You ain't show us that part.
Oh, Dr. Colin, it's baptism by fire here on the Kim Jacobs show.
I see. I see.
Tell people how to
All right.
get
Yeah. As I said earlier, you can connect with me on the Shepherd's Arts Ministry Facebook. You can connect with me on my Facebook, Colin Clarke, and you can connect. We have a website called Two Hearts That Beat as One, and it's two heart that the number 2 hearts as one.org, and that's our marriage website. You can go there.
What is it? What is it?
The number 2 HAHEARTS at one.org.
2 hearts. Say it one more time.
As 2 hearts as one.org.
Okay, 2 hearts as one.org. They also have a marriage conference that's coming up as well. So go visit 2heartsasone.org and learn more about the conference that's coming up so that your 2 hearts can beat as one. All right. We have with us our next Freestyle Friday expert, which is Natasha Halliday. How are you, Natasha?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Doing great. Now, you're our mental health expert. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you have for us today.
So I am I live in Canada. So here, I think in the States, y'all say licensed social worker. I'm a registered social worker. I've been working in mental health for 20 something years. I speak on different mental health topics. And for fun, I do a little bit of comedy, just a little bit. I was going to say in très petit peu. Can you tell I live in Canada? Like, I'm not bilingual, but I do speak some French. That meant a very little in French. So yeah, I just love to talk all things mental health. I love to support people with their well-being, and any part of the healing journey that I can jump in on and be a part of, that's what I love to do. And today I'm going to talk about, and I love it because there's such congruency in all what has been spoken about already. Today I wanted to talk about how mental health is tied to communication. And I love that Dr. Colin talked about the scripture that says death and life is in the power of the tongue. Because the Bible teaches us that from day one. The Bible teaches us that what we say affects how we feel. It affects our well-being. But it's also the evidence of what's inside. So we get to examine what's happening in our minds and our hearts by what we say. And we also get to feed that by what we say. Because we forget sometimes we hear what we say. This is why affirmations have become so popular. Because it's about making statements so that you receive it in your own ear as well, to feed your soul and your spirit what it needs to be fed, right? That's why reciting scripture is helpful, doing things that are stating things that feed you well. But when we think about communication is a big thing that connects us to people. And when we look at mental health, which is this condition of our psychological and emotional well-being, our connections, our social, our ways of interacting with others is so tied to that. So I think, we have to look at how is my communication helping me stay connected, and how is it potentially removing my connections, right? Dr. Colin talked a little bit about how somebody's speaking to you. That can affect your mental health. That can affect your mental well-being. One of the things we have to keep in mind too, communication is sending and receiving. So I could say something with one intent, it could be received with another. So am I checking with the receiver some way, how have you received it, so that you know the intent, the true intent of my heart, right? Something as simple as if I just say to Kim, nice glasses, and I'm pretty monotone, I could totally mean, because those glasses, girl, they fly. I love those glasses. But if I just say nice glasses, you may not hear the real sincerity in that. Or if I say it, nice glasses, even if I meant it, the way I'm communicating it, you might receive it as I'm actually being sarcastic. You might receive it as an insult. So it's important to check how is it being received, and also looking at how are we receiving communication. And that's really tied to our perspective too. And our perspective is so connected to our mental health. When I'm in a darker place, when I'm in a more negative place, I'm probably receiving things from that place. In cognitive behavioral therapy, they talk about core beliefs, which are these, kind of pockets of ways of thinking that influence the way we see and interpret the world around us. So if I'm having a negative belief system, then I might filter things through that lens, just the way I'm wearing glasses right now. And these are one of those called, I don't remember, but they get darker when I go outside, these particular glasses. So the filter changes with different things. So if I'm forgetting that it got darker when I went outside and I get back inside, I could see inside as darker than it is. I could see it as more, because if it's a brown tint that I get with these glasses, my vision is altered based on the lens through which I'm seeing things. And so the communication is also evidence of the lens through which we're seeing things. I'm actually going to give myself away sometimes without knowing it. I might say something that shows that I'm in a negative space, right? People could be having a conversation, and the one person who always has a negative comment, that might show where they're at in their mental status, just showing that they're kind of sitting in maybe a sadder place. Or what about somebody who's anxious? Somebody who's anxious is dealing with all the anticipation of what could go wrong. So they might be the ones questioning more than the other ones. And so it's really important to pay attention to how our communication is evidence of what's happening in our minds and our hearts, and how that is a part of our mental well-being. What are we saying that tells us about something? Are we using things like I statements? Because if I say you, and it's blaming, that could come off as aggressive or accusatory. So even, again, thinking about that difference between the intent in the sender to what happens in the receiver, we want to be intentional. There's the word intentional again, about how we're sending information so that ideally it's being received in the manner in which we intended it to be received, right? We want to practice active listening. We want to demonstrate empathy through our communication. If we're talking to somebody who is struggling with their mental health, if we're not conveying empathy, we're probably not going to be much help, or potentially make somebody feel worse. And language, I think, is really key. One of the things that I've seen, I've been working in this field long enough that I've seen language change. What is now called bipolar disorder was called manic depressive. There's reasons that language changed. Kim, we did a show about suicide. We used to say people committed suicide, but you commit a crime. And so they've decided, people have realized that language in itself puts a weight on the person who's suffering. And so now we talk about people dying by suicide. We're changing the language. So language is even a part of how we communicate what's happening in mental health, but also it affects how we're doing in our well-being, because we can use language that weighs us down. We can use language that adds to a negative perspective. We can use language that can add to things like worry and anxiety. So I think it's really important to, Athena talked about being yourself. You got to know yourself, and you know yourself by checking in with who you are. When you check in with who you are, make your speech a part of that. What is my speech telling me about what's happening? What's evidence in my heart? What's evidence in my mind? Is my mind leaking to show that there's negativity? Is my mind leaking to show there's positivity? But what's coming out? Am I speaking with love? Am I speaking with contempt? Am I speaking with judgment? The things that we say, our language and our communication is so indicative of what's happening inside. And what's happening inside can be tied so strongly to our mental well-being. So that's what I wanted to share today. I tried to make it quick so we could stay on time, but that's what I want to share today.
Wow. Okay. That is a lot of great information. You guys go back and watch the replay and learn take notes, because this is game changers for your lives here. I want to make sure that I put your contact information up, Natasha. Let people know how they can stay connected with you, please.
So absolutely, you got it there on IG, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm Natasha A. Halliday. I think I have a YouTube at Natasha A. Halliday, but it's probably got like all of 4 videos. I'm trying to build my social media. My website's natashahalliday.com. But yeah, just follow me on Instagram, get in touch, send me a message if you have any questions for me. I love to talk all things mental health.
Oh my goodness. And Sharon says, now she gonna try and type for one other person since she don't want to sound like she hanging from the chandeliers or nothing, right? So she like, let me type something for Natasha too. I'm just joking with you, lady Sharon. Please forgive me. Okay, but anyway, she says language when used in a negative way can weigh us down. Thank you so much for those comments and other comments that came in. Thank you, Vickie here, who says I check with myself every day so I don't be absorbed by externals. That's a great comment, Vickie.
That's
My
a good one.
goodness.
That's a good one.
Yes, yes. Be intentional on how we send messages to the receiver, is what you said, Natasha. Thank you so much for your contribution to today's episode. And you guys, y'all have ways to give us a closing. I want to get a closing comment. Natasha, go ahead and start with yours with a closing comment. We're going to get off of here.
I'm going to leave it with be kind with your words.
Be kind with your words. Athena, what's the comment?
Be patient with being you.
Be patient with being you. Dr. Colin, a closing comment.
When you get a holistically, you change the temperature of your marriage.
Yes.
Change
Wow.
the temperature.
Yes, I love that.
I love that too. Okay. Let me go to Vickie L. Evans, closing comment.
My comment is set your intentions, command your day, and don't apologize about your desires.
Wow. Okay. And this is our episode sponsor that I want to acknowledge. If you have not visited LINQQS, I have that in the comment section for you. It's for people that are self-employed individuals. If you were self-employed during the COVID pandemic, you may qualify for some income to come in, and it's a calculator in here for you to determine if you qualify as a self-employed individual with 1099 contracted individuals. This is a site you want to learn more about. Samantha Benson is the person that actually is behind this particular initiative, and I put her contact information up for you as well as one of our episode sponsors. You don't want to miss the opportunity to learn about final expense life insurance, which is one of the hats that she wears, and also this linqqs.com initiative for some of the self-employed employee retention programs. Definitely reach out to her. Do not miss this opportunity. 704-499-3616. I have final pictures of some of these individuals as well that's been here on the show today. I went in and just put a couple of things up here and wanted to show you all a few of the pictures. I didn't get to go and put everything, but I said, I just wanted to, when we have our experts come on here, I want y'all to see who some of these experts are. And we'll be off in about 2 minutes here. Let me just, I have to reload the thing because that's Athena Robertson and some of her family. Let me see. I have here Dr. Colin. I have all of y'all, so I'm trying to see which ones here I have. Give me 1 second because I have y'all in different hats and things. So let me see how many I can pop in for about 2 minutes. Here we go. And we're going to get off. But let me pop this one up. This is just to let you know that these are our experts, but they also wear their own hats and roles and responsibilities. And I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge you all and show y'all some of the different things that they all have going on. You can always find Natasha doing something nature related, and that's her. In every one of her posts, when you follow her back there on social media, she has gratitude things going on. I may not have all the pictures, but this is Dr. Colin and his wife of 41 years. And anyway, so I just went through and just found a few pictures while some of y'all were talking. I was finding some of these pictures of you and your family and wanted to take a moment just to let y'all know we see you all as our experts, and we thank you for being here on Freestyle Friday. All right. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being in the studio audience. And, I see one of you and your daughter. I think that's your daughter. Can't put the son up and not put the daughter up. Give me 1 second. Be like, now, why you put that one and you didn't put my daughter? And now my daughter going to be mad at me. Hold on. Let me get this one more picture up. And then we're going to get on off. I think this is your daughter. Tell me, is
That's
that your
my daughter.
Okay,
Yep,
okay.
that's my daughter.
All right, everybody. On that note, those are some of our Freestyle Friday experts, some of their families and the way that they balance their lives. Y'all have a great day. Mackenzie, mom of 2 back there, and wife, take it away. Close us out. Have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time.